No, they call me the Doctor.
Why don't you just call me Doctor?
I am the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor. You may be a doctor, but I'm the Doctor.
I'm called the Doctor.
I am
The Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
I am the Doctor!
He is a doctor.
Doctor? Of what? I'm sure the man has no academic standing whatsoever.
Hey, Pants.
Hello.
We never know how to start these.
Nope.
Today marks another exciting episode of a classic Who.
Indeed. Yeah. That's what every episode of this show marks.
Correct. So thank you for
No
those of you
surprise.
who are still listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And welcome, Tina's dad.
Oh, welcome.
If you make it this far.
Again, more for us.
Yeah, indeed. So today we start on technically the 5th serial of season 1 of Doctor Who, called The Keys of Marinus. We're doing the first half of the 6-part serial. Each episode was directed by John Gorey and written by Terry Nation. The first 3 episodes aired April 11th, 18th, and 25th of 1964.
Yep.
Yes. So we're going to be doing the Sea of Death, the Velvet Web, and the Screaming Jungle.
Which I thought, oh my God.
It's like that.
It was super alarming. Okay. Let's begin. You really threw a curveball there, Pants. Did you do the thing where you look up the day?
Still very proud of myself for pulling that off.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
Yeah, nothing happened on any of these days.
Wow.
So I'm sure the Beatles are still around doing stuff.
Yeah.
But at least for these first 3, nothing of substance. So,
But in the future,
what?
my birthday.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You weren't born on any of these days.
Not the year,
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
but the day. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Smooth sailing.
Smooth.
It's only a few weeks away. Anyways,
Yeah, well.
so Pants,
Yep.
for this 3-parter, what were your overall thoughts on the show?
I liked parts.
Okay.
And some I didn't. But I enjoyed. Like, I wasn't bored and I wasn't rolling my eyes too much.
Yes.
Not like last week.
Yeah.
So I did, and we'll get into it, but the first episode, I think was really cool. If maybe it was either the first or second, where it's the second, I think.
Is that where like Barbara was in the chair?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I think it's the
I
second.
agree. Yeah.
So yeah.
So we can get started.
Great.
My overall thoughts are kind of similar to yours, right? There are definitely parts that I did enjoy. There are some parts that felt familiar because I've seen that storyline.
Sure.
The interesting thing to me is that it's never going the way that I want it to. It doesn't tend to go the way that I go because I go extreme, and I forget that in the 60s, we're still going to be pretty conservative, even if we're going into a deeper idea.
Sure.
But I'm so accustomed to, I guess, the culture now where it's very real. I don't think people shy away from what it actually would be, if that makes sense. Let's go with like a stab, for example.
Okay.
Like in here, it almost has like a small comical value to it. You know it's not real. And now in cinema, I mean, you're questioning if they really use prosthetics.
Do you question that? You think people actually get stabbed to make movies?
Yes.
Oh.
That's how they get their big bucks.
I think
They have
we've
scar
got a
cream
lot
that
to
they
go
use.
over.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I hate you.
Do you think Robert Downey Jr. really was killed at the end of Endgame?
He was.
That's why you don't see him anymore.
Right.
Yeah. That's why there's not going to be a Doolittle 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're super annoying. It was really
Okay.
It was really funny when we were watching Spider-Man just now. The tribute to Tony Stark was pretty cute. I forgot the one that the high schoolers made.
Oh, you were watching Far From Home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Sure.
Okay. Anyways, we're really off subject now.
We are, and you brought us here.
No.
So
way to distract us, Pants.
Part 1 is called The Sea of Death.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I really liked the opening scene where the TARDIS was tiny.
That was adorable.
It was really cute.
Yeah. So, again, aired April 11th, 1964. Stupid day in history. And, yeah, so the first thing we see when the episode opens is this really, like, I don't know, it's a very cute, like, clay-looking animation where they just kind of have, like, a little, obviously, clay TARDIS appearing in, like, I guess it's supposed to be a beach. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it was very cute. We see our characters for the first time. What I did want to bring up that was kind of like you mentioned a lack of pants on a character later on. What distracted me most outfit wise
Ian was wearing
was Ian's outfit.
Yes.
I
knew you were going there.
I assume this comes from Marco Polo.
Yeah.
Where they were in like a Chinese environment, which we didn't see. But he's wearing a robe with what I assume is Chinese writing on it.
I'm unsure.
Down the front and really big on the back.
Yes.
He wears this for the first 3 episodes that I've seen at least.
Yes.
And nobody is questioning it.
Nope.
And I assume our people in the TARDIS were there when he got it. So they're not going to question it.
I guess.
But nobody
Maybe
else
he
that they
lost
meet.
his original clothes and they went over the fact that these are the only clothes he has left. And so no one is going to be like, what is your outfit, dude?
I mean, the people we meet could be like, what is this language?
Sure, but I think they're more interested in brainwash than what they're wearing.
Okay.
Fair. Yep.
All right. So.
But before we get there.
Okay.
Well, we're still talking about the first episode. That's the second episode.
Oh, I thought you were about to interject.
No, sorry.
Okay, it's like we're about 2 seconds into the episode. I didn't miss anything. And so along along with the other miniatures that we get with the TARDIS, there's also these little submarine-looking things that are shown coming along a shore.
Also very cute.
Very adorable. Very, very good job to the arts and crafts department.
Yes.
Which I assume were 3rd graders.
You're so rude.
So this is where we've seen that the TARDIS has landed on a beach. They make sure they let us know that it's quiet. There's no birds. There's nothing growing around them, and the sand is glass.
Yes.
Which again, 3 episodes in, that hasn't come back at all.
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know if this is just one of those weird details they decided to throw in.
Yeah, I mean, when they come back to that planet, maybe it'll surface again. But as far as I know, I did not see any reference to it after that. But what was really alarming is that after they discovered that, the beach is glass, that Susan's intention was to jump in for a swim. Yeah.
She should have.
Would have been better.
It could have only made for a better show.
Oh, indeed. Sorry, Susan.
Melting skin.
Yeah, I was a little confused. Like, I don't know how that interaction happened. I knew it had to for us to understand that it was
the water is acid.
Acidic. Yeah. But I don't understand how the sock felt. Like, I don't know. It was a weird exchange, but we're just going to roll with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why her sock came off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or why her shoe came off. And the fact that she's now standing in glass.
Right.
Which doesn't seem to be affecting her.
No.
But she drops her anyway. Oh, she's taking her shoes off to go in the water. Duh.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
So
good job, Susan.
Yeah. She's taking her shoes and her socks off. She drops the sock into the water and it starts disintegrating.
Yeah.
So the water is not water, it's acid.
And then Ian, being the gentleman that he is, was like, I'll walk on glass, take my shoes.
Yeah.
But again, not addressed.
Chivalry
no cuts on
is not
feet.
dead.
Yeah. They
In
must
the
have
60s.
really calloused feet.
Well, Ian does.
Yes.
He's a science teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're known for their callous feet.
Science rules. I miss when, we got to watch that in science.
I liked it just because we were watching TV.
Me too.
I did not really enjoy Bill Nye.
Really?
I mean, I wasn't offended, but
Okay.
it was.
I wasn't offended.
Yeah, I mean, I was just more happy we were watching TV and not
I understand.
listening to a teacher.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Bill Nye.
That's good.
Yeah, when they put him on whatever streaming platform he was on, I watched it for quite some time. Was it Netflix? It was Netflix. Thanks, Netflix. Sorry, back to your regular scheduled programming. So we find these little submarines.
Yep.
On the shoreline.
Yep.
And inside one of these submarines is a suit of some kind.
Yeah.
And so they're able to pull the suit out. Mm-hmm. And they notice that there's a chasm. Just kidding. They notice that there's I heard it again today in something that I was watching, and it made me think of Doctor Who. Anyways, he has the suit, the suit has a slit in it near the aortic artery, and actually it's femoral artery, isn't it? Moving on. And then they deduce that somebody was in that suit,
Because it's
but
a
the
suit.
acid ate him up, not the suit, not the submarine.
So Susan should have been wearing her rubber socks.
Correct.
Okay.
That should have been protected.
And we see a rubber suited figure.
Yes.
That's trying to get into the TARDIS at this point. So our people are at the beach, and I mean, Susan's already taken Ian's shoes, and she's headed back to the TARDIS to get more shoes.
Yes.
And as she's on her way there, we see somebody actually wearing one of these rubber suits and trying to break into the TARDIS. They're not able to, and they get kind of spooked by Susan, coming up with her big ass shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what leads into our group finding the sub. You jumped a little bit.
Oh, I'm
But,
sorry.
yeah.
But I mean, eventually it happens.
Yeah.
And I don't know why when Susan finally grabbed her shoes, she was like, let me just go off and discover and not regroup with my group.
She is an independent woman. So Susan exits the TARDIS now,
With
wearing new shoes. Yes. And she sees a footprint outside the ship. Different footprint than she saw when we last saw her, because an entire 6 episodes has happened since then.
Yeah.
So this is a flipper looking.
Does Susan and Barbara look at it? Because I feel like somebody goes, look at the big feet or something like that. Was that in a previous episode? Or is
Yeah, that was at the end of Edge of Destruction.
Oh, you're right.
With
Okay.
the snow.
Well, so we still, yep. Okay.
Yeah. So we don't know what that is. That's why I was saying this is different from
Yeah,
last.
sorry.
Keep up. So she finds the footprint and it calls out for the doctor. And the rubber person dude kind of steps out from the rocks when she leaves. Where's she going? We'll find out. Yeah.
Kind of looks like a Loki crown.
Okay.
Or no, more of a Loki crown. But black and rubber.
Okay.
So
It
American
could be
Horror
green.
Story meets, it could be green because it is
could.
black and white.
Yeah.
So yeah, American Horror Story meets Loki. Spandex
Minus
horns.
the sex.
Yeah, I'm only referring to the costume pants.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Gutter brain. Speaking of gutters, I'm reading It.
So, Ian, Barbara, and the doctor, Nope, you already said the thing with this. Wow, you jumped way ahead.
You jumped way ahead.
No, I didn't.
Well, you know what? We have 3
okay, I'm coming
episodes
back.
to cover. So
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. So, back on the beach.
Yeah.
Where the Dr. Barbara and Ian found the empty suit that was mentioned far too early in the episode. They look up to see, what's that? It's a weird pyramid building.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the point. It's like
where is... Does that make it a not pyramid?
I think so. Ow.
Ooh.
It's okay. We're going to keep going. Pyramid's not the word. What is it when a pyramid has the point taken off and it's just flat? Is it a rhombus? A rhomboid?
Pants, what?
What shape is it?
I think it's called circumcision. I couldn't get it out.
So, okay. So it's, they look up, and to their surprise is a circumcised pyramid. So.
Which is impregnable. I love the vocabulary of this show. Okay, Pants. We're being serious now. Continue.
Indeed. Yeah, so, surprise, Susan's already exploring said circumcised pyramid.
Yes.
And she's like, I've never seen one like this before. It's good.
She's hashtag Madonna-ing it.
What's that mean?
Touched by the very first time.
By the pyramid?
Sure.
It's space. Some people fuck geography.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
All
in
right.
space.
So at some point in time, they get into the pyramid. I think they
do.
all fall through a trapdoor. Like, slowly but surely, everyone finds this trapdoor. Everyone gets behind the trapdoor.
Yeah, it's one of those spinny doors that they lean on, and it just spins them around.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it happens to them one by one, and they make the same mistake over and over again.
Yes.
Inside said rhomboid, Susan is then attacked by a rubber guy.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Yes.
Before it collapses with a knife in its back.
Yeah.
Who stabbed it?
Courtesy of whoever that person was.
Yep.
Which I don't have a name for, so I hope you do.
I do. It's
Great.
further down, so I'm not going to scroll just yet.
Okay. Excellent. All I know is Ian gets into a fight with what we later learn is a Vworp. Vworp?
Vord.
Vord?
Vord.
Vord.
Voord is Vord.
Vord. And then he falls down a square
Yeah.
with acid at the bottom of it. Or at least that's what I thought.
So anyway, the doctor. There's a monk. Mm-hmm. You didn't mention the monk.
Well, that's what I was saying. He's the one that saved Susan from the knife. The dude, I asked you if you had his name.
The monk?
Who's not paying attention now, Pants?
Right now in my notes, he's just referred to as the monk. Because that's what the doctor says. He says that the monk lives here. And he deduces that the rubber men or women are also intruders like they are. But why aren't they being killed, but the rubber people are getting knives in their backs?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Why?
The doctor is observant.
Yeah, he deduced. Ian saves the monk from attack.
Yep.
And throws a man down a hole into, I put water, but now I understand it's acid.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no water on the island.
There's this monk man.
Yes.
He is old.
Correct.
He's white.
Yes.
He's wearing a robe.
Okay.
Looks like a monk. Just want to paint a picture for the folks in the audience here.
I understand.
So.
I think most people know. But
do they?
I appreciate your...
I don't think they do. No. Because the only other monks from New Who are completely different.
Oh.
They aren't human.
You're not human.
Thank you.
Okay.
So the monk explains to Ian that it's been many years since their last attack from the Vord. The monk is alone in defending his rhomboid. Yeah.
The conscience of Marinus.
Yep. He takes them into a control room looking thing where there's a big contraption.
Contraption indeed.
Yep. And he says that their tech as monks peaked about 2,000 years ago and culminated in the conscience of Marinus.
Correct. Which is the name of the cereal.
Nope, it's definitely not. It's the keys of Marinus, you moron. Marinus is the planet.
It was close.
Yeah.
Either way, they cured violence, which I didn't know was curable.
Yeah. The machine that the consciousness is their kind of, or started as their judge and jury.
Yes.
So it was eventually, it's kind of like an AI, I guess. It was eventually able to remove evil from all of Marinus, which, as you said, violence, such.
Is cured.
Yep. The machine became dangerous, and instead of destroying it, the monk took out 5 key microcircuits from the machine and hid them throughout Marinus. And now they need to be recovered.
Correct.
Why? Why now?
You know,
Because the rubber people are coming?
I
The
think
Vworp?
it's because the Vworp finally arrived.
Got it.
I don't know if they had already been there, like recently, or if their
Well, it's been
arrival
the
was
first
triggered
attack
by
in a long
the
time.
Who's.
The Who's?
Yeah.
From Whoville?
No, pants. The Who's.
There's no Who's.
There are Who's.
So the monk says that they should find the keys.
Yes.
They go back to the TARDIS. They're
Well,
like,
I
you
think
know.
they don't want to find the keys, right?
Yep, that's correct. Because
Okay.
the next sentence I was going to say is that they're not going to help the monk.
Okay.
So, but before they can get to the TARDIS, or they get right up to it, they're stopped.
Correct.
By what?
An invisible barrier.
Fuck.
Oh no!
They have to do
It's
their
really funny.
best miming impression.
Yes.
Completely uneven. They're miming a glass box around the TARDIS.
Yes.
They're like, why can't we get to it?
Oh no.
The monk did it.
Blackmail.
Oh, I was like, the monk is white.
Let me finish my sentence, pants.
Really?
Pants.
His name is Arbitan, is where I have now written his name.
I appreciate that because
Yeah.
I did not know his name.
The monk is Arbitan,
Okay.
and he does blackmail them and says that they need to help him find the keys or they're stuck.
He will not unleash the TARDIS to them
Correct.
because he is the barrier creator.
Indeed.
He offers them travel tiles. He talks to them about travel tiles. Or is that the doctor's? I thought it was his.
Are
I
you
skipping
talking
shit?
about, are you saying dials or tiles? Because the travel dials
They
are,
might be dials and
they
not
are.
tiles. Okay. I accept.
Yeah. So they're given travel dials,
Yes.
which will move them through space.
Correct.
The monk, Arbitan, says that they are similar to the TARDIS, but they do not move through time. They just move through space. And they look like little watches with little dials on them. And they just flick them and they move around.
And they travel.
Indeed. And that's what they do.
Yep.
They disappear when they get their little watches, and they go to get the keys. And then a Vworp,
Attacks the monk.
kills him, yeah?
Kills the monk.
He's dead. R.I.P. Arbitan.
Yep. And then when the doctor, Susan, and Ian arrive to wherever they've arrived, they find, or they deduce that it's Barbara's travel dial, and it has blood on it.
Fuck.
And right then, that one ends.
It does.
On to the velvet web. So we pick up where we left off, where Susan has found Barbara's travel dial, and it has some blood on it. So, of course, immediately they're concerned that something might have happened to Barbara.
So yeah, Ian, he finds this door that they landed in front of, and forcefully opens it.
Susan is very much against this,
Yes.
but Ian does what he wants.
He does, yes. Because women don't know anything.
Correct.
And Ian knows this. So as soon as he has broken and entered, bright lights start pulsating. Alarms start sounding. It's very loud. But then it stops.
Abruptly.
Abruptly.
Yep.
Indeed. And that's when we see Barbara.
What are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
Thank goodness you're here now.
Yeah. How long has Barbara been there?
I have no idea. I would imagine that she's probably not been there terribly long. Maybe a day before them. I don't know how time...
Yeah, it almost
when moving
feels
across
like
space works.
They arrived a significant amount of time after, but I don't think...
She is completely wearing something else now, so yeah.
Yeah, and she's being treated like royalty. So when they find Barbara, she is, sprawled across this, like, what is that? Like a chase lounger?
Like a chase lounge.
Sure. Like your typical, like, royalty. Like, her
if you're
arm
thinking
is
about
draped
Greek
over...
culture.
Yeah. And she's being fed grapes and fruits and shit. And, yeah, she's just being treated like royalty. And her surroundings are very, like, posh. And there's... half-naked statues of women with no arms.
Right.
And, yeah, there's a few of those. Mm-hmm. So they're obviously confused. And Barbara explains that the blood is from when she was trying to rip the dial off of her wrist as she fell through space.
Right.
Which seems very unsafe.
Agreed. She freaked out, tore the wristband off.
Mid-flight.
Cut herself a little bit. No worries, Susan.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
She just opened the emergency hatch and hopped out before...
Pretty much.
Before
that
it was
could
ready
have
to
ended
land.
very badly.
I mean, it could have. It did end badly.
Well, not yet.
Okay.
But she's getting fed grapes by some hotties.
Yeah. She's like, go get my friends some food, too.
Yeah. Get them some fruit.
Yeah.
You wenches.
Is that goat cheese? No, what does he say?
It's
the
not
doctor's
goat
like,
cheese.
is that a pomegranate?
Yeah. I was like, are you about to bite into a pomegranate?
I was waiting for it too. And then he just tossed it back in the basket.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're also brought an array of fruit and what looks like a whole turkey.
Yes.
And some truffles. And the doctor's like, is that a pomegranate?
Yeah.
Picks it up like he is just about to bite it. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's going to stain all your shit, bro. But
it's
no.
black and white. We wouldn't have been able to see it anyway.
No, it would just look like blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's a vampire. And he just like kind of looked at it, tossed it in his hand, and just kind of bloop back in the little basket. Yeah.
Ian, this not entire time, but Ian is definitely sus in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, or Barbara points out, why aren't you eating anything? And Ian said that he doesn't know the price yet, which, good job, Ian.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is where we pay the bill, he said, when Altos came in.
Yes. So a man enters
With no
Altos. He apparently had no pants. I didn't notice.
Sorry.
Tina has not shut up about it.
Nope.
But yeah, he is pantsless, apparently. It's the Pooh
What
Bear,
a
as it
sad
were.
life to be pantless.
I agree.
Yeah.
Very sad. He asks if they want anything. He says that the city they're in is Morpheton.
Yeah.
And it's where their people can have anything they want. What does Susan want?
Yeah. She wants a partridge. And no, she doesn't. She would like a dress.
Yeah.
Made from this really cool fabric that she found.
Yeah, she
and
just
he's
found
like,
a spool of fabric.
Absolutely. What else? And they're like, oh, no, never mind. And he's like, no, tell me. Your wish is my desire.
Oh, yeah.
And so the doctor says, a laboratory
well equipped.
All the things I need would be great. Mm-hmm. And so Altos says, let's just wait. I need to finish my sentence.
Oh, probably by tomorrow.
Yeah.
We can have that. But yeah, he says that like it's no problem. We will get you a well-equipped lab.
Yep. But for now, you guys should probably rest.
Yeah. Ian, as you said, very sus. He says the man didn't even blink once when he was talking to him. Mm-hmm. So they all go to sleep.
Which?
What?
I need to mention.
Please.
Okay, you know what? Go ahead. You go first and then I'll come back.
What?
Nothing. They're all sleeping.
Yeah.
Right?
And?
Go ahead. A woman enters the room. Go ahead, Pants.
Well, before that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Actually, there's a statue thing on the wall.
Oh, that's right.
And the eyes light up.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
I don't know. They move around too.
Yeah. I don't know. It It's not really explained.
No.
It's just something weird that happens.
They're being watched.
Okay. And then a woman enters.
Correct. With stones.
I think they're discs.
Okay.
I think they actually say discs later, but I put stones as well. But I think they say later. Anyway, she has these handfuls of discs, look like stones, and she puts them on all of their foreheads.
Yes.
While they're sleeping. Barbara wakes up when it falls off of her head, so she kind of turns her head a little bit, and it falls, and that kind of startles her awake. And then the alarm sounds again.
Yeah. And the bright flashing noises.
Yeah.
And she passes out from all the excitement.
She just passes right out.
So in the morning, we have Susan, the doctor, and Ian all enjoying this bed and breakfast experience, right?
Yep.
Which brings me to my first question.
This is not your first question, but yeah, what?
Why is it that when Ian, Susan, and the doctor find Barbara, they're already under mind control, but then Barbara just loses her disc one time and knows what's going on?
Right. You're talking about like when they come in, they see all the lavish stuff right away.
Correct.
I think that's a mistake on the story part.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's sad.
So it's
not sad. It's just annoying.
right. So they're all kind of having breakfast, and they're discussing that they all have like this forehead irritation.
Yes.
Like itchiness,
a slight
discomfort. Susan gets her dress
and wants to
presented
show her BFF Barbara.
Yeah.
Who's still sleeping, oddly enough.
Yeah. She had a long night.
I guess. She's been there for way longer than they have. She should be rested.
Yeah. So they wake Barbara up, and Barbara freaks out and says everything has changed. Everything is super filthy.
Yeah, she wants to know what happened.
Right. There's a few different parts where we're kind of seeing Ian, Susan, and the doctor through Barbara's POV.
Yes.
So they're all kind of looking at the camera as Barbara's talking. And like the doctor, I think it was the doctor, like presents Barbara with what he thinks is like a fancy glass of juice.
Yes.
Like a crystal glass. And it's like an old mug.
It's like a filthy mug.
Right. And this really nice dress that Susan was given is just a bunch of rags.
Yes.
So,
which I really loved that.
I did as well.
Because I know that they were working with what they had.
Yeah.
So it was really cool for what it was.
Yeah. I liked that they were actually showing us one of their like point of view.
Yeah.
And how it was different. So
because I really do think it needed visual help.
I mean, yeah. So what we're to believe now is none of what we have seen so far about this place is true. Which, as you mentioned a minute ago with your question, when the doctor, Ian, and Susan first entered, they probably should not have seen everything as Barbara was.
Right.
Because they weren't already under the control.
Yes.
It should have just been Barbara. But I don't think they just thought that through.
Okay.
So.
It's bothersome.
It is. It doesn't make much sense. But anyway, Barbara's seeing everything for how it is. Altos enters, and he wants Barbara to see their doctors because obviously something is wrong because she's freaking out. But she runs away instead. Altos goes into a room, like a dark room, and there's probably like 4 glass casings.
Yep.
With brains in them.
Yes.
The brains have like snail eyes.
Yes.
They look like Gary from
Yes.
SpongeBob. Yeah.
Yes. It was definitely giving me Gary vibes.
Yeah. So imagine Gary, no shell.
Right. With a brain.
But a brain.
Like a wavy brain.
Yeah. And the eyes sticking up.
And the eyes.
So that's what Altos was communicating with. These are like the masters he serves.
Correct.
And they are pretty much, we find out the the brains of humans that have like exceeded a human's capacity for knowledge, something like that.
Yeah, I was trying to understand. It's like, yes, like they didn't need the bodies anymore. They just had to, like, over evolutionary time or something, they lost their bodies and they only needed their brains.
And eyes.
In floating jars.
And eyes.
Yeah. Sorry. So strange. How do they get around? I guess mind control. They can just have somebody pick their little glass containment unit up and walk with it.
So. It looks like the just for visual purposes, the glass container thing that the flower was in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, but bigger.
It's like that, but bigger.
Like a larger scale,
Imagine that with Gary in it.
Yes.
Yep, exactly.
It was definitely really weird. Well, and Barbara wants them to see her side of it, but
yeah.
You know.
So
Altos communicates with the brains.
Yeah.
They try and figure out. Sorry.
It's okay.
Go ahead, Ben.
It's okay.
Just start over.
The brains want to know who gave or who applied the mesmerant, which is what the discs are called.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And that Barbara has seen truth and is beyond their control. So she's a lost cause. The brains say to find her and destroy her.
Yes.
So sucks.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Barbara.
Poor Barb.
So Altos goes back out. He lies to the doctor and Ian, saying that Barbara's been sedated for her own good.
Yeah.
And that she's being treated.
They shouldn't have to worry about her anymore.
Yeah.
It's really funny to me. So, I guess Barbara's hiding in what would be like a holding dungeon cell-y type of thing.
Is she? I saw that as like out on the streets. Like an alley.
No, I don't think so, because then they toss the girl in question in there.
Okay.
So I just think it's absolutely wonderful that Barbara was able to find such a good hiding spot.
Oh, no. She is definitely an expert hider.
Yeah.
Like
1000%.
Where she hides, Susan can sneak.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are a dynamic duo.
It was very, it's just funny. You know, they only have so much they can work with, but it is fun.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, Barbara gets locked in the room. So it was her escape plan, I guess. And then she just can't get out anymore. So
correct.
Great plan, Barb.
Yeah. Yeah. She's good at what she does. So Altos shows our guys the lab, which to us, you know, not under mesmerance, is pretty much an empty room with some tables and a mug.
Yeah, it looked like a larger linen closet.
Yeah. I like how the mug is just being repeatedly used to show dingy.
It's a great prop.
I mean, it gets the point across.
Yes.
But they don't have anything else.
Right.
But
yeah, I was so confused. I was like, why don't you guys see?
Yeah.
You know?
But the doctor and Ian are like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is fucking
so
cool.
Great.
Yeah. Best lab ever.
Best.
So Sabitha.
Okay, great. I'm glad you have her name.
As we learn, is the name of the chick who put the mesmerant discs on
the group's
our
head.
people.
Yep.
Yeah.
But now she's going to be punished.
Correct. She is actually the monk's daughter.
Bum, bum, bum.
I've already forgot his name, and I don't want to scroll up that far.
Yeah, the monk.
Albatross?
Sure. And Altos is somebody else that he has sent as well, that we figure out a little bit later.
Correct. So, anyway. Oh, Gary. I just started calling the things Gary.
Oh, cool.
So, the group of Garys,
I drew Gary.
Oh, did you?
So I could remember what it looked like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you could forget.
It's a brain. I just forgot to do the jar.
Okay. Good. Do it now. You know, we don't want to forget. So the Garys now share their plan for what they have in store for our gang of Englishmen.
Yes.
They want to put them to work.
Want to make them workers.
Right. So they're pretty much wanting to enslave them. Right.
Correct.
So anyway, Barbara ends up getting back into the building. And she sees Ian, runs and gives him a hug. But unfortunately, he has no idea who she is.
Yeah. Poor thing.
They have the Garys said that our gang should have like one more round of the mesmerant, and they should be fully under their control.
Subjugated?
Sure. And I don't know if we're to assume they've already had this or not.
Yeah.
But Ian's already forgotten who Barbara is.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
And he is now loyal to the Garys and takes her to them. And this is where I actually figured out that they're brains. It was
Me too. It wasn't obvious in the beginning.
It wasn't. No, but they look like brains now.
They were shadows, but it still looked kind of like Gary. So I still imagined like a little pod. But that's when I finally drew this because I was like, "That's a brain."
Yeah, I put their brains with eyes.
This is also where we learned that they apparently outgrew their bodies, which was what you were talking about a little earlier.
Right. They command Ian to kill Barbara. Mm-hmm. She escapes him and ends up destroying the Garys very quickly.
That scream was applause worthy, Barbara. It was. I had to rewind it because I was very confused as to what was the scream, kind of like you did earlier, alarmed me so much that for the next couple of seconds I wasn't registering anything. So I had to rewind it to see what actually happened. And she was struggling to break the Gary containers, but that is what she did. She broke the Gary containers.
Yeah, she picked up something like because they're hooked up to what kind of looks like a computer
modem, like
something
a giant
like that.
one.
Yeah.
Or server.
Sure, whatever it is back then. But they're hooked up to it. She breaks it and then takes, I guess, a piece of it and starts smashing their little containers.
Yeah, she's a badass.
Yeah. So they're dead, and now everybody is free.
They don't really address the shambles again, but yeah, everyone's free.
Right. Shambles. What do you mean?
And they just don't ever address like, oh yeah, this place is really crappy.
Oh, I got you.
We were under a trick.
Sure.
You know.
Got it.
But we do meet Altos and what did you say her name was?
Sabitha. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like Tabitha, but with an S.
Sabitha. Yeah, I can do that.
Sabitha.
So it turns out that these two characters were sent by Sabitha's dad to try and find the keys. Got caught up with Gary. Didn't really want to leave because he was throwing a great house party.
True.
And then Barbara came and ruined it all. So now they're back on the trail for the keys.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they want to help our gang find the keys. So
because that was their original mission.
Yeah. So the doctor's idea is that he's going to separate from
the group,
everybody else, and there's now 5, 6 of us.
Yes.
Yeah, 6. So he's going to leave the 5 and go his own way for whatever reason, because that's a good idea. And they use their little time discs.
Travel dials,
thank you. Which the new people have as well.
They found... No, that's later. Yeah, I have no idea. I guess they do. Well, I guess because they were sent there originally, they had their travel dials, sure. Right? But the doctor's big plan is for them to meet in 5 days' time.
Right. So
Which...
Susan goes first.
Where?
Well, I think they were programmed for like a certain mission.
Okay.
So the next stop is the next twist, and then each twist will take them to the next place where the key is going to be.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Susan goes first. And she is met with a barrage of noises.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Which she doesn't like very much.
No. It's just really horrible screaming.
Indeed. And that is the end of that episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They just leave you with Susan's head exploding.
Pretty much.
The following week. Oh, Jesus Christ, pants.
We're in the screaming jungle.
It's in my ears. You're such a jerk. I don't know why I'm so jumpy today. God. Could be because I'm reading it.
I've been wrapping that up for like 10 minutes. And I keep almost laughing.
Oh, well, I'm happy for you that you got it out now.
Me too. I'm crying.
God, you're such a jerk.
Good.
Now we are on the third part of
Yep.
this serial.
Yep.
The Screaming Jungle,
Yep.
which makes sense since Susan's hearing all these screams.
Yeah.
So I guess Ian...
Did you hear him as well?
Stop.
Okay.
I guess Ian and Barb didn't go as fast as Susan. So when they finally do arrive in the place where Susan was, she's like really shaken up, right? Because she heard voices, but they no longer are there. This is the second
Whispers.
time. Yeah, this is the second time that Susan has experienced something that the group has also not experienced. And so we're forced to
Think
believe
she's
that
insane.
she's insane. It's concerning to me that Barbara is like, she'll tell us in time. We don't have time. Why is she so alarmed? We just got here. We don't know what's here.
True.
So good luck, I guess.
Yeah. Susan asked Barbara if the doctor was okay after she left, saying that she doesn't like to say goodbye, which is something that's repeated kind of often throughout Who in general. The first one that comes to mind, which I know there's classic times as well, but the 11th Doctor, I think he like rips out the last page in a book that he and I can picture a scene where he and Amy are like reading in like New York or something. Maybe they're in Central Park. They're reading like back to back, and he rips out the last page of the book because he doesn't like endings. And yeah, so I think that's kind of, this is the first time that's kind of said, not by the Doctor, but by his granddaughter.
Yeah.
So
I do appreciate Barbara's comment on why they keep treating the women like Dresden china.
yeah.
Like, Barbara is a badass, especially for this time period. Like, the way that she speaks, the way that she carries herself, she's very, like, confident. I mean, sometimes she falls into the damsel of distress category.
Yeah.
But for the most part, she is a really strong, like, female character in this show, which is fun. And I love that she calls it out, right?
Sure.
Like,
Yep.
I can handle it. Quit babying me, essentially.
Yeah, I'm not fragile.
Yep.
So yeah, Susan, she's talking to Barbara as Ian, Altos, and Sabitha go off and explore. She's saying that she's heard these noises before, and that it's something evil, or she feels that it's evil. Why she decides to just sit on the bare ground,
Yeah, that
is
was an
beyond
interesting
me.
choice, but
She's always climbing trees, and
Yeah.
she's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, Susan just sits her ass on the ground, and well, I mean, not even her ass. She's kind of like laying.
well, at first she's sitting, and then the next angle is her like laying down,
Like on her stomach.
Which I guess, yeah, at some
Gross.
point she did.
Yeah.
All I know is this is 1000% where Evil Dead got there.
Same. Yes. So yeah, the forest that's surrounding them, as Barbara is kind of giving a speech, which I alluding to what you just said. There's like branches and leaves that are kind of like creeping up on Susan while she's laying down, and they start to kind of like, she's kind of like swatting them off because she thinks it's a fly or something, and she's not looking, but they kind of start wrapping around her legs.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Susan flips shit, and Barbara ends up beating these trees with a rock.
It was wonderful.
But I was like,
Get
that
that.
is Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Evil Dead was like, what if the branch kept going?
and going.
For those of you who have not seen Evil Dead, go watch it.
The first one,
Yes,
if you want that scene.
correct.
Or the remake. has
And
it.
then come talk to us because it's a wonderful movie. Let's see. So, yeah, twine around Susan, which she's just sobbing because
Yes.
the poor girl's been traumatized since she arrived in this jungle.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really funny because Ian had been looking around for something, like an entrance or whatever, and that's why they walked off. Barbara gets up and
just
immediately
stumbles.
finds an entrance.
Yeah.
So Ian definitely doesn't know what he's doing, and it once again solidifies that Barbara should be in charge of this expedition.
Yes.
So,
And most expeditions.
yes, all of them. Barbara got in. Susan calls for Barbara, and suddenly Barbara can't hear her. I don't know how deep this tunnel is.
She doesn't look super far away,
No.
but
She's just ignoring her.
She
She's like,
can't
"God,
hear
Susan,
her at all.
Just shut up already.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just gonna pretend. I know you're hearing voices, Susan. Please shut up.
Yep.
So yeah, Barbara sees like a statue at the end of this tunnel.
Sure.
She describes it as a big grotesque statue. I did not notice the hands at first.
I didn't either.
Okay.
But very funny.
It was great.
Yes.
So it's like a statue of a beast of some sort.
Right. With like little arms coming out.
Like people's arms.
Right. But at first you're not looking at that.
No, you're looking at the face.
Yes.
Pretty much. But yeah, and Barbara sees
what she thinks is the micro
thinks
key.
is the key
Yeah.
that they need. One of the 5 keys?
Yes.
Hanging at the top of this statue. So she climbs up kind of in between the two arms of the statue and is trying to reach it. And the arms start to wrap around her
Yes.
legs.
And by
hold
this
her
point, Ian has come back because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
And Barbara said she was fine, so nobody's actually going down this tunnel.
Right.
So yeah, Barbara gets taken.
Yes.
By these mechanical arms.
Right.
Really,
I like
funny.
and this isn't the first time they do something like this in the episode, but they add a sound effect.
Yeah.
That is mechanical. But it's definitely like a person stagehand with their arms through a piece of styrofoam or something. And but it's funny because they kind of move mechanically.
Yes.
Poorly mechanically, but it was a good touch.
Yeah.
So anyway, Altos picks up the micro key that Barbara dropped.
Yes.
While she was being taken by the statue. The statue turns back around at this point, and Barbara is no longer there.
Uh-oh.
So they think, maybe she was, smart enough to use her travel dial.
Yes.
And go to the next place. Since she left the key out here, we found it. We can technically move on to the next step. Altos and Susan go on to the next destination.
Jump, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sabitha concludes pretty quickly that the micro key is a fake.
Imitation crab.
Right. So she's holding it up to the other key, and it's like a
fraction of a size smaller than what the key should be.
Right. So obviously it's a fake.
She's a key expert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Ian decides that he's going to stay and he's going to find the real key and Barbara, and is purposefully taken by the statue.
Yes.
So he goes, stands against it, and knows exactly how to stand. He wasn't there when Barbara got taken. So
yeah, I guess he was watching her because that's what cowards do. But
indeed.
Yeah. He gets taken. He gets to the other side. Mm-hmm. The arms mechanically let him go. And then we find out that the whole place is a big booby trap.
Booby.
Why did I call it a booby trap?
I don't know.
We're going to look that up later.
All right. So yeah, he steps on this little tile that triggers a mechanical knight.
Oh yeah.
To slam an axe down. Barbara saves his ass.
Yeah.
Because she's like a hero hiding behind a column.
Yes.
But
she's figured it out already.
Sure.
So.
And she gets him out of the way right before he's sliced in half.
Yeah, my goodness.
Yep.
What a close call.
Mm-hmm. And then there's we see a quick scene of like a robed guy, I assume. He opens this door that was previously locked right before Barbara is attacked by more rapey trees.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to get through this door. It's locked. Ian goes and is looking for some metal or something.
Yeah, she said that there was like some kind of bars or something they could use to like open barbs.
Yeah.
To open the door or something like that. All I know is Ian messes up, triggers something. Barbara gets pushed under this door, and a net falls on her, and then suddenly it's like the Lost Raiders or whatever movie it is.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the ceiling is coming for her. Okay, it's very scary, very terrifying.
It wasn't.
Considering Barbara can't move, the rope is so heavy.
I was like, I looked to see if the rope was weighted in any way. It doesn't look like it was. I didn't see any
it was
weights.
tied so that she couldn't push against it. Like it was like
it?
almost like a weighted blanket,
How
but
did
weighted
it
rope.
fall on her if it was tied?
It fell and tightened.
Okay, you're giving that a lot of credit. I'm
sorry that you weren't paying enough attention.
Was easily confused by rope.
Yeah. Well,
so she is struggling. She is just flailing and screaming.
And Ian hears her and decides to start moving faster, which he should have been doing to begin with.
Yeah, but now he's stuck in a jail cell.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Where'd that come from?
Fell from the sky.
Yeah, so he's in some bars. And he's using this like metal rod to try and break the metal
bars,
rod.
Yeah,
and it's a whole thing.
Eventually, he's triumphant, which good for him, I guess.
Sure, but Barbara is saved,
about to die.
Yeah, by the little chicken feet spikes that are coming down.
Yeah, they were sharp.
Very slowly, very wobbly. Sharp barbs.
Sharp barbs.
And the same hooded figure that unlocked the door saves Barbara. The spikes stop. And that's when Ian gets through.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, hey, why do you want the keys?
Right. How do I know that Arbiton sent you?
Right. He wants proof that she is not a Vworp.
I love that whole conversation. Like, no, I have to make sure that you are who you are. How are you going to prove it to me? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm glad she remembered she had the travel dial on her. Check this. Go look at this.
Yeah. So yeah, she gives this guy the travel dial to examine to prove herself. And then the dude is attacked by the rapey jungle.
Yeah. Which somehow like makes him immediately sentenced to death.
Maybe it choked him out too long. Because it looked like it came in through like very much in an Evil Dead way.
Sure.
Like the door, window, whatever was kind of boarded up.
Uh-huh.
And the branches came through.
Yeah.
And like wrapped around his neck, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Ian was like, I got you, guy, and got a... What'd he get?
I have no idea.
It was like a sword.
Yeah,
like
it was
a katana.
But it wasn't really like a sword. It was like a
katana. It was a broomstick.
Listen, all I know is that man suffered a horrible injury from that vine because he was not alive for much longer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
he died real quick afterwards.
I was like, why is this man dying for some reason? Yeah, so before he dies, with his last breath,
yep,
he tells them D, E, 3, O, 2 twice.
Right. But if you back up 2 seconds.
Okay.
While he's on his deathbed.
Oh, yeah.
He tells Barb. Or no, that's a lie. He tells Ian.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like, come closer. Yeah, man to man. It's coming again, is what he says. The jungle is coming.
Yeah.
Which we know from Evil Dead. Mm-hmm. They came. First, you hear the whispers.
And then bring death. Uh-oh. Yeah.
That's straight up from Lost.
So what does this even mean? You know? And then he dies before he's able to tell them. So literally Ian and Barbara are just searching this room for the key for something.
It's like a lab.
The meaning, the laboratory.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's a safe.
Yeah.
So let's put this code into the safe. Yeah, it doesn't work. No.
So some time passes.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. They kind of start discussing their lack of findings when out of nowhere, the whispering begins. Uh-oh, they remember right before that guy died what he said, right?
Yeah.
And so suddenly...
Rapey jungle.
The jungle starts attacking. It was really scary. And then they found the formula jar, or they realized it was a formula jar.
Yeah.
That had the key inside.
Yeah. The jungle's attacking the room. And apparently the guy before he died mentioned, or no, Ian was like going through the dude's journals.
Yeah.
And he was like hypothesizing like an accelerated destruction.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And that over like hundreds of years, the jungle would overtake this building.
Yeah.
But with the acceleration, it's all happening like right now.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years of
growing into
sure.
Yeah.
So when that happens, they see a little jar fall on the floor. It has a formula on it, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's what it was, formula." So they go and they look through all the formula jars, find the one with the label. Barbara's legs are attacked, but they find it anyway. And they find the key.
And then they quickly use their dials to get the heck out of Dodge.
Yep. And then they land somewhere cold.
Yeah, really cold.
Far below zero cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barbara's cold.
Uh-oh.
She can't move.
Nope, no
Too
movement.
Cold. Nope.
Too cold to move.
Frozen, as it were. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so then we get a flash of next week's title.
Flash.
The Snows of Terror. Oh my god, again! Join us next time to hear Pants's screams.
It's funny.
They
It scares you.
should have cast you.
They should have. I could have been the jungle.
So yeah, that was this week's serial. Well,
Half of
because
it.
we're going to finish it next week.
Yeah. I also, this morning with my coffee, had cereal.
Oh, what a lovely breakfast, Pants.
Yep. Golden grams, dry, from a bowl.
Ew.
Crunch, crunch.
Well,
did you enjoy this episode?
It was fun.
Great.
Like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I know.
I'm starting to see that Doctor Who's like formulating some cool stories.
This was written by the same guy who created the Daleks.
Yeah. So, I mean, clearly a knack for fun.
A knack.
And so, yeah, I'm excited to see what the rest of this episode bring. But the first little part wasn't boring.
Great.
Wasn't great, but was entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Same.
Well, yeah, we talked about yours in the beginning.
I know. We should probably
We just
hold that
don't
to the end.
want to talk about you anymore.
It's not true at all.
Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah. We'll be back next week with the next 3 episodes.
Yes. I do hope you're watching them. If you are listening, go watch the Classic Who so you can laugh with us. Maybe leave us a comment on something that you enjoy with Classic Who, or that special memory you have if you've already seen it a long time ago.
Yeah, if you're old.
Yeah. Or just rewatch it with us.
Sure.
I think that's a lot of fun too.
We're on Twitter at Time Vworpcast. That's VWORP cast. Yep. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And give us a 5-star rating.
Yeah.
On Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
I know it's a little different now, but we appreciate you sticking around.
Yeah. And, leave us some nice words.
Words.
If you like my my scaring Tina, let me
I
know. I'll keep doing
hated it all episodes.
I can make it a reoccurring thing.
I hate you. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, see you all next week.
See you guys next week for the rest of the cereal.
Cereal,
Have a good one.
Golden grams. Bye.
Milk.